Hello. If you're currently comparing different network marketing companies, looking for the right opportunity, reading company rankings, or simply trying to figure out what you should actually pay attention to, before you make a decision, I'd like to invite you to look at the process from a slightly different perspective. Over the years, I've noticed something interesting. Most people start by comparing companies. They look at which company is bigger, which one has been around the longest, which one ranks the highest, or which one has the best compensation plan. But very few people stop to ask what I believe is the most important question. What will I actually be doing every single week to build this business? Because your day-to-day activities will ultimately determine what your experience looks like 1 year, 2 years, or even 5 years from now. Question 1. Are you choosing a company or are you choosing the way you'll build your business? At first, those two things sound exactly the same, but they're actually very different. Imagine two companies. One expects its distributors to spend most of their time constantly looking for new people, relying primarily on personal outreach. The other focuses on helping people build a clear system, develop valuable skills, earn trust, and use modern digital tools. Both companies may be successful, but your everyday experience inside those businesses could be completely different. That's why I wouldn't evaluate a company based only on its name. I'd look much deeper. I'd ask, what does this company actually expect me to do every single week? Because I believe that's one of the biggest differences between traditional network marketing and the new generation of network marketing. The world has changed. People have changed. And the way people make decisions has changed as well. Today, strong companies are increasingly moving away from the idea that success should depend entirely on constantly searching for new people or creating uncomfortable conversations. Instead, they're building systems that help people discover who you are, understand your approach, and decide for themselves whether they'd like to learn more. That creates a completely different experience. Instead of feeling like you have to carry the entire business on your own, you're supported by a system that helps people get to know you before the first conversation even happens. And to me, that's a much more sustainable way to build a business. Question 2. Do you genuinely like the product, or do you only like the compensation plan? This sounds like a simple question, but I think it's one of the most overlooked ones. Ask yourself honestly, if there were no compensation plan at all, would you still enjoy using the product or service? Would you still see value in it? Would you feel comfortable recommending it to your family or close friends because you genuinely believe it improves their lives? When the answer is yes, sharing your experience feels completely different. You're not trying to convince people. You're simply talking about something that has become valuable to you, and people can usually feel that difference. Question 3. Does the business model reflect the way people make decisions today? The world has changed dramatically. Think about your own habits. When you're looking for a new phone, choosing a restaurant, or researching an important purchase, what do you do first? Most likely, you search Google, you watch YouTube, you read reviews, you compare different options. That's how most people make decisions today. So it's worth asking whether the business itself reflects that reality. Does the company help you build trust, develop valuable skills, use modern tools, or is it still built around methods that were effective many years ago but no longer feel natural for many people? Personally, I believe modern network marketing is no longer about constant selling. It's about trust, education, creating value, building authentic relationships, and using systems that work with you instead of placing the entire burden on your shoulders. To me, that's what modern network marketing should look like. Question 4. Will this business feel like starting over every month, or will the system become stronger over time? Every business requires effort. There's no magic button. But there's a huge difference between feeling like you're starting from zero every single month and gradually building something that becomes more effective over time. I believe that's another characteristic of modern network marketing. Today, the goal shouldn't be to copy another person's personality, because that's impossible. You can't truly copy someone else's story, someone else's communication style, someone else's energy, or someone else's character. We're all different. Instead, strong systems give people a framework they can adapt to fit their own personality, their own experience, their own values, their own authenticity. And that's exactly why the same system can look completely different from one person to another. As time goes on, people begin to understand what you do. They become familiar with your approach. They develop trust. And naturally, some people begin asking questions. By the time a conversation happens, it often starts from a completely different place. Instead of explaining everything from the beginning, you're simply helping someone better understand whether this opportunity is the right fit for them. That's why I believe choosing the right system is just as important as choosing the right company. Because a great system doesn't replace your effort, it helps your effort become far more effective. Question 5. Can this business become a natural part of your life? I think this is one of the most important questions anyone can ask, because not everyone wants to completely change their lifestyle overnight. Many people simply want the opportunity to build something meaningful alongside the life they already enjoy, to continue working, to spend time with family, to pursue their interests, and gradually add another meaningful income stream over time. The best business models don't force you to choose between your life and your business. They allow the business to grow naturally alongside your life. And if one day you decide you want to dedicate more time to it, that option is always there. But the choice remains yours, not the system's. So if you're currently comparing different network marketing companies, I encourage you to look beyond the rankings, beyond the compensation plans, beyond the popularity lists. Ask yourself a different set of questions. What kind of business model does this company actually offer? Does it fit the way people make decisions today? Does it give me a system that supports me instead of expecting me to carry everything on my own? And perhaps most importantly, can I genuinely see this becoming a natural part of my life over the long term? Because I believe those answers will have a much greater impact on your future than any position on a top 100 list ever will. In the next video, we'll talk about another idea that completely changed the way I look at this industry. For years, people were taught to copy successful people. But what if that was never the real goal? What if the real secret is learning how to use a great system while adding your own personality, your own strengths, and your own authenticity? That's exactly what we'll explore in the next video. I'll see you there.